I was just reading an article online about dogs eating poop, and owners, 16% of dogs do this. I used to have a dog that did that, and that a lot of owners would give their dog up for that reason. Um, I was living in a tent for a while with this dog, so the only thing I didn't like about it was that she'd have really bad farts afterwards. But in Mongolia and Siberia and Tibet, they have these great big dogs that guard the family and everything like that, and they don't have outhouses. And in the areas where they have these dogs, they have no problems of wife or bride stealing. Because most bride stealing occurs when a woman goes out to an outhouse or out to relieve herself, and then she is grabbed. And so in the places where they have these dogs, that doesn't happen. But in the places where Islam is, and then they tell people that, there's a curse. Well, there's a curse on the price of a dog, on the seller and the buyer. But some people have said that, well, that means that there's a curse on dogs. These are not dogs that anyone brings into the house. So these are all outside dogs. Sometimes they build a shed for them, and they serve a purpose. But some people take religion too far, or have interaction with people, and they don't want to explain. You can't talk toilet talk, anything about bodily functions with a Muslim who is like trying to get one over on you, because he's going to say, oh, that's haram. We're not related. We can't talk about this. So they'll tell you to get rid of your dogs, even though there's no Islamic law that says that you can't have this. And then they'll say, well, the Prophet Muhammad said you have to do your bathroom habits like this, and then you're going, like, wait, I thought we couldn't talk about bathroom stuff. And so anyway, so the people get worn down, they get rid of their dogs, and then their daughters would get stolen. In the places where they still have the dogs, sometimes they would have the problem of it becoming too hard to get married. People forcing people to do crazy stuff to get married, but they couldn't just steal women. And you'll see, like in the popular fiction, they couldn't steal women because their brothers were big and they'd run after them. Brothers are big in Kazakhstan too, but brothers are big in Kyrgyzstan too. But your brother isn't going to go with you to the bathroom. And if your dog is your bathroom, then you're better protected. And an analogy to this is like that, when we have these relationships, when we leave our children with some pretty scary people, people say, oh, that's really terrible. And then they say that gives them the right to go get even scarier people with government backing to do really terrible things. But why do they want these kids? And it wasn't long after I had arrived here that they used me for bone marrow to save a child with leukemia that they had acquired from the Russians. And if he was a match for me and had leukemia and 12 years my senior, then he was a Kazakh, and he was there when they did the bomb testing.